development of Philippine culture. But I'm gonna let Robot Voice take the lead because I have something to do.
The life when Spain took over the Philippines. Spanish rule for the first 100 years was exercised in most areas through a type of tax farming imported from the Americas. Central government in Manila retained a medieval caste until the 19th century. Manila dominated the island, not known as the political capital. The galleon trade with Acapulco, Mex, assured Manila's commercial primacy as well. Manila was also the ecclesiastical capital of the Philippines. The power of the church derived not simply from wealth and official status. The cultural goal of the Spanish clergy was nothing less than the full Christianization and Hispanization of the Filipino. Economic and political institutions were also altered under Spanish impact, but perhaps less thorough than in the religious realm. Agricultural technology changed very slow until the late 18th century. By the late 18th century, political and economic changes in Europe were finally beginning to affect Spain and, thus, the Philippines. The growth of commercial agriculture resulted in the appearance of new class, alongside pre-existing social classes. Not until 1863 was there public education in the Philippines, and even then the church controlled the curriculum. Small amounts of students could read and write Spanish. Wealthy sons were sent to Europe to study.
Filipino culture is where the East meets the West. Having a distant Asian background and a strong Western influence and tradition, Filipinos are very hospitable, very kind to Western guests. 1565 is when Spain first conquered the Philippine Islands. But then, many centuries later, Philippines gained their independence on July 4th, 1946. Over been colonized by Spain for 300 years, most citizens of the Philippines might identify themselves as Christians. Princes have a patron saint and celebrate fiestas or festivals in their honor. The family is a basic but yet very important part about Filipino culture. Divorce is rare, you could say, and the family is like a safety net for economic problems, especially for older folks. Children would not leave the house until they get married. So until they get married, they ain't leaving. Or if you're like my cousins, they just don't leave. They haven't left. As a country that is prone to typhoons and volcanoes erupting, Filipinos have seen their fair share of natural calamities. Always resilient and lighthearted, Philippine culture entails a bayanihan character, best expressed during crisis. Filipinos often enjoy family meals and bonding over them, and then leading into inuman, which is basically a drinking lesson. I've been a part of that way too many times now. Philippines love gatherings, whether it's at work or home. Filipinos outside the house just having a quick drink with each other, it's a common thing. It should be no surprise that Filipinos love Christmas. You may see, especially back in the Philippines, they'll put up Christmas lights all the way back in September 1st. Or it could be starting in the later fall months leading up to that. That's not all. Even the Christmas list, the Christmas shopping, it starts all the way in September 1st, leading up to that date of December 24th or 25th. And all in all, in that one day of the holiday, each and every one of us come together and just, it doesn't matter how small the house is, everyone is there. You get a headache if you get a headache either way. You can find karaoke machines in almost every single Filipino household, from the Philippines to even here, America. Always there to just to do any party, any get together, or just randomly for no reason, just because we feel like it.
But then, because of the karaoke, you wake up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday where you could be sleeping in. Your father downstairs is singing out his heart's content, so it wakes you up.